everybody, this is Gen Jeff here, and we are back with the continuation of Rule the Waves after a 2-week hiatus. Let's take a look here at our fleets. So, we've got these battleships here. There's only 6 of them. We have 3 battle cruisers, and we still have all of these old dreadnoughts left. All of our heavy cruisers are overseas because they're ancient. The original class. Then we have a bunch of these ships that are also overseas. And we have these ships here, which are still in the region, which have the 6.6-inch guns and go 29 knots. Our destroyers are these older obsolete ships here, which are pretty standard for 1899. They do 28 knots. We have the EXC class destroyers, which are right here, which do 30 knots. Then we have the newer Ettrick class destroyers right here with 3 torpedo tubes. The newer, even newer, Jed class destroyers, which do 31 knots, and they have 4 torpedo launchers each. And then we have the newest Nautilus class destroyer, which carry 10 torpedo launchers and have 6 5-inch guns. Rather big. 4-gun broadside. Woot. Now let's take a look at our battleships. We have the old Revenge class, which has the 12 12-inch guns arranged for an 8-gun broadside, and has decent point defense and decent armor. Slow at 20 knots only. Then we have these ships here, which are sadly even slower at 19 knots, but they have 12 15-inch guns with a broadside of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10-gun broadside. And then we have the 2 super battleships, the Rodneys, with 8 17-inch guns for an 8-gun broadside, and 24 5-inch guns to protect it from destroyers. And then we have our 3 Invincible class battle cruisers, which have 10 11-inch guns for a 8-gun broadside. And then we have these old things, which have been upgraded with better firearms, with 13-inch guns. I think they're upgraded. I hope to God they're upgraded. Open design. Yes, they're upgraded. Good, 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 good. They also have the latest fire control measures, I believe. 20 knots. Central firing. I'm not sure if that's the latest and greatest or what. Nope, it's directed. That's the latest and greatest, so they need their firing controls upgraded eventually. And then we have these guys, the Royal Oaks, which are just freaking scary, with 4 12-inch guns and then 14 9-inch and secondary turrets. So it'll destroy cruisers. And then 24 2-inch for destroyers, which if you're shooting at a 1,500-ton destroyer, isn't going to do much to it. Then we have these 2 captured ships here, which is Russian and looks like Russian. Not brilliant, but this one's got a good number of guns on it. So that's good. And then these are the old armored cruisers, which at 21 knots are not particularly impressive. They've got 14 7-inch guns, 24 5-inch guns, and 18 2-inch. So their armament's alright, but they're overseas, keeping those trade lanes open. And we have these things that are also overseas. And, these guys doing CP patrols. Under construction, we have the Indomitable class of battle cruisers, which have 9 12-inch guns and 16 5-inch guns. There are treaty ships, and they do 27 knots. They will be done in nearly from just under 2 years to just over 2 years, which sucks because we're at war now. And then we have this ship, which is under construction and is almost finished. It was a member of a larger class, I think. This one's actually being refitted. 14 8-inch guns, 24 6-inch guns, 8 2-inch, and then 6 submerged torpedoes, just 27 knots. 27 knots because these submerged torpedo tubes are limited to operating at 27 knots and have a decent armor and everything. Woohoo! Our battle cruisers are currently in for repairs, and so is that thing. Now, our opponent, Germany. Let's actually take a look at what they have. They outnumber me by a frick ton. Actually, we'll go to all. I have 6, they have 12. I have 3, they have 9. I've got 13, they have 15. I've got more CAs in service, but none of them are actually worth putting in the northern Europe area. I've got more light cruisers in service, and I've got twice their DD numbers in service. They've got minesweepers in service. It's just something I don't have. So let's actually take a look at this stuff. They've got the Thurgan class from 1907, data, which carries 10 12-inch guns with a 4-gun broadside, and 14 4-inch guns. So the guns aren't particularly impressive with the ship, and it's very slow at 19 knots. Then they have the... I'm not pronouncing that. With 10 12-inch guns, much like the previous one, and 14 6-inch guns, does 20 knots. Now we got the Rhineland class, which again, 10 13-inch guns for 4-gun broadside, kind of unimpressive broadsides. And then the Kaiser class with 10 13-inch guns, but this time they actually managed to get all 10 guns on a broadside. And then 2 torpedo tubes. And then they've got the West... That's under construction. So, the Kaiser class, at 34,000 tons, is the only battleship that kind of starts to match my battleships in quality. And they've only got 2 of them. And then they've got those things that are under construction. They have these Von der Tann class battle cruisers here with 6 12-inch guns for a rather unimpressive broadside, which we can outdo. And then the Lutzow data, 4-gun broadside, staggered turrets, and cross-deck firing. I'm assuming they've got cross-deck firing. It's always safe to assume they can fire 8 guns as opposed to 6, and they do 25 knots. And then we have this ship here, which has 8 13-inch guns for a full 8-gun broadside, 14-inch 6-inch, and 4 3-inch, and does 26 knots. And then they have the Hindenburg. Wait, how big were those guns? 13-inch, okay. They have enough armor that I think my 12-inch guns will have a hard time with that belt. And then there's the Hindenburg, which is the scariest boat they have, with 12 14-inch guns, all of which can fire to a side, and 24 6-inch. So this is really the only ship they have that in a ship-to-ship battle they can face me and have a chance of succeeding, or a hope of succeeding. The rest of them, no. Particularly not against the Rodney class. So I don't think I should be scared of actually getting into fleet battles against these guys. 4 11-inch guns, 18 knots, that's it. And now these, nope, this is a different class right here. 18 knots. I don't see the big difference. And then we have these older ships, which are 4 11-inch guns at 18 knots. And we have these ships, which are 4 11-inch guns at 16 knots. And we have the Victoria Luis, which does 20 knots and has no weapons on it, essentially. And the Prince Heinrich, I actually think I pronounced that correctly, with 2 10-inch guns and then 14 7-inch guns. And, wow, they really don't have many CAs. So really what they outnumber us in is these. And I'm going to take the next fleet battle I can after 2 turns of repairing these Invincible class battlecruisers. Because I can destroy this stuff. I don't know if these 11-inch guns will penetrate much of anything. But I know my battleships can. I'm glad all these are overseas. Let's look at the comparative tonnage. They've got 370 more tons of battleships than I do. Even though they've got 6 more battle cruisers in service, our tonnage is almost equal because I'm building 8 at once. Yes. Service tonnage, not so much. Ooh, service tonnage here is not all that different either. I've got more Bs in service. I've got more CAs. And better CAs, probably. Yeah, better CAs. CLs. The thing is, I don't want these things here in Northern Europe, because they'll run into the battle cruisers and they will be freaking destroyed by the battle cruisers. And DDs. I outnumber them dramatically in DDs. Terribly in DDs. So, it is time to use our superior firepower. Or I can just sink 20 ships. Battleship engagement. 2 battle cruisers. As long as it's not night. I wish it told me the time of day. So it was night, I could turn the frick away. And it is... Selected division first. 8 hours till daylight. Okay. You're CL Pearl. You're going to be following battle cruisers. We have the Inflexible and Illustrious here with their 10, 11-inch guns. And top speed of 28 knots. And we have our battleships down here with the what the frick you people doing here? Oh god, you're all supposed to be overseas. What are you doing here? Okay. Okay, I suppose that could suck more. Let's see what all these guys are following. We got Victorious and Rodney. We just have to keep these guys alive. Anything these guys run into, they can destroy with impunity. What is their armor like? Armor is reasonable. The belt armor's probably a bit thin, but the turrets are good. And the conning tower is good. The Royal Oak. I like how it's the 2 newest ships with 3 of the oldest ships. Just kind of like, here you go. Here's your battle fleet. Freaking super dreadnoughts paired with these old suckers. So they're going to be following behind the Victorious and Rodney. Let's see, you should be following... No, you're going to be behind Royal Oak. You're going to be core. I want you back there. I don't want you up front because you guys can't actually get away. Kind of little ships do we have there? Oh, the Jed class. And then we have more Jed classes. And we have the Sea Alnaid, which you will be support. And let's see what we run into. Unknown ship sighted. You're supposed to be AI controlled. Of course, you're up there. And we'll do that. I want you to start heading south at maximum speed. Unidentified ships. So what do we have? What was that warning about? It didn't tell me. No, you don't, you little freaking idiots. Royal Oak. Your core. Okay. What are you doing? Okay, good. Very good. Okay, CL versus CL. Let's bring up this little thing there. There we go. We can now see what they're doing. They're not firing yet. What have we run into? We've run into this, which has 10 4-inch guns and 2 3-inch guns, which is going to be incredibly pitiful. Even though they got many more guns than I do, my guns are better and can actually do damage. I think we can take this to slow and do that. You guys will no longer be scouting. I want you to support. So what we've run into is their little scouting force. With some light cruisers. Why are you going... Pause. Your speed is 28. Your speed is 28. Why are you so far behind? Oh well, that is the timer for this episode. So we are going to check the log entries. Nope, no problems there. We're going to pause, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you later as we resume the Rule the Wave series. As we've now decided, after a quick comparison of the fleets, to just fight the Germans every opportunity we have. And we'll sink their fleet eventually. Hopefully we don't lose anything. See ya.